What's going on, guys? It's Chad, and welcome back to some more Modern Warfare 2. Oh yeah, by the way, I ended up switching my anti-aliasing over to Filmic SMA, and that does seem to help with the dots a little bit, but it definitely doesn't get rid of them completely. You can still see it underneath of like the gun and kind of on top of the gun still, but it definitely reduces it, so that's fine. Obviously, also has like this weird aura around it whenever the riot shield is there. I think it's probably because it's just like a reflective surface, but anyway, speaking of reflective surfaces, Polyatomic. I currently have 50 of 51 unlocked Polyatomic challenges. Yes, I am unlocking Polyatomic today, right here, right now. The final weapon that I need in order to unlock Polyatomic is this little guy right here. This is the Desert Eagle. I only need 6 more headshots and Polyatomic is ours. We're done with this grind. There is a bit of a grind afterwards though. So for example, I'll mention this afterwards, but this mastery, this is the next step. We don't really know what's at the end of this tunnel right here. This is where it really separates the grinders from everybody else. Sure, not a whole lot of people have Orion. I haven't seen anybody else in game with it. I know about maybe 5 or so people that have it at the moment. Just me, so there's got to be at least a few, but I haven't seen any in game. But nobody has every single weapon charm for every single weapon in the game yet. If you have a weapon charm for a weapon, that would mean that you have all of the emblems and calling cards for it as well. Apparently, there is some sort of reward at the end there. So, I mean, fuck it. We got to get Orion first before we can even really start that. So, the challenge afterwards is to get 1,000 kills with every single weapon in the game after getting Orion. Because you have to get 100 kills with gold, 200 kills with platinum, 300 kills with poly, and 400 kills with Orion. Obviously, you won't be able to do that 400 kills with Orion if you don't have Orion. So you have to have Orion in order to even really start this, or at least to complete it. This is why I told a lot of people to, hey, whenever you're working on platinums and polyatomic and shit like that, make sure that you have the mastery camo equipped, because it will at least give you some credit while you're going for either your long shots or your headshots. Sure, you're not going to get a ton of them because you're going to finish it relatively fast, but still, I don't even have like a proper sniping quick scoping setup, and it's still good. It's hilarious. I could just like not build it good and it still works. I actually put this off for about a day now. I just did because I know that I have enough time or whatever, but all the way down to the bitter end, I'm not gonna sit there and play dog shit lobbies. I'm still backing out of every single dog shit lobby. I do not care. Fuck this entire system. 5 more to go, 15 of 20. So you needed around like what, 20, 25 headshots for every single weapon in the game. So I mean, 4 more. I was accused of hacking a few times when I needed to get these headshot challenges just because of the sheer amount of headshots I was getting per game. I have a few like quad headshot feeds and shit with like SMGs and ARs. I think we need like 1 more. 1 or 2 more. Is that it? Yeah, 1 more. No, nope. Alright, well, that's it. Sure, you know, as great as this grind is, super lackluster unlock animation and shit like that, I get it. I mean, I guess they didn't really want people to unlock, you know, the camo within this amount of time, but they know, year over year, they know that somebody's gonna unlock it within this period of time. It happens every single year, no matter how disgusting the grind is, so. The Orion camo has been unlocked. There it is. Oh, the riot shield looks so good. It's a nice big picture. Woo! Alright, let's turn the graphics up, because otherwise this shit's literally gonna just look like Play-Doh. So this camo is actually supposed to be getting updated, what, in a day or two? Apparently with the Season 1 update, this camo is supposed to move a lot more. I mean, I'm looking at it. I'm trying to see if it is even moving. It is moving. I see that black dot right there. Okay, well, it moved now. It's closer, though, so now we can watch it. Let's take a look. It is moving. Honestly, I feel like that this should be a little bit brighter for what it is. I feel like it's kind of unnoticeable in a way. I recognize, obviously, that's how a nebula kind of is, but at the same time, also a lot of the pictures that we've seen, which are obviously also, like, color corrected and all this other shit, those are usually brighter, so why not make this just a little brighter? I'm not saying it needs to even be, like, dark matter bright. Just a little brighter, like a 20% uplift to its brightness a little bit, so you can even notice that, you know, they have some sort of camo on it with an actual, like, design to it. Because otherwise, when you're running past it on the ground, it's just a weapon just smudged in colors. Like, you can't tell. What weapons would have, like, the best coverage? The AUG probably is really nice. AUG usually has, like, a nice, big, wide area. I think the signal looks crazy with this camo. Holy shit. Yeah, I wish it was at least this bright in-game. It definitely is not this bright in-game. It's just not. I understand that the lighting in this environment is, like, a little different. It's literally just a dark environment with one, like, light above it. Whereas in-game, it's all of this, like, light coming from a bunch of different directions and shadows being casted everywhere, but it's just so dark. Oh, I'm so glad it's over. Oh, fuck yeah. I mean, this camo is way better than how I was feeling about Damascus. I was happy that Damascus was over, but Damascus is dog shit. We got the AUG right here. Ooh, look at the blue and purple. Look at that. Hold on. Ooh. See, I like that. That's nice and bright and vibrant. But then you turn this way. Look, when you end up in the shadows, it, like, doesn't glow at all. A nebula has, like, black holes and all sorts of crazy shit going on. And you're telling me once we cast a little bit of shadow over top of these, you know, gases and all the other shit that's moving around, it should be shining through that shit. We got the signal here. Woo! I think the signal probably looks like one of the best weapons in the game for sure with this camo. Just because you have all this nice, beautiful coverage. Oh yeah, and then we got the launcher, this piece of shit Joker. Yeah, I absolutely hate this fucking thing. Definitely the most annoying shit to ever use in this entire challenge. Like, for anybody that's trying to complete this shit, for sure, 100% the Joker and the launchers are the most annoying, most frustrating thing about all of them. The headshot challenges are not difficult, but the launcher challenges are. All of them. Every single version of the launcher challenges I just fucking hated. Every single one of them. It felt like the launcher challenges were simply just not built for the actual launchers. Got the SPR here, this super overpowered ass thing. You can see that there is a little bit of like texture and stuff on the handle for the SPR. I guess that's like the natural grip. But even these weapons have like a, you can see the texture on the weapon here. I like it. I just wish it was a little bit brighter. That's all. It is interesting how on the matte parts of the weapon, the animation is still moving over top of it, which is actually really cool. But you kind of have like that Damascus-ish effect on it where it's just like these weird little lines. They're moving around, they're little swirls and just lines following each other and shit. But I wonder if the SPR is even going to get hit in the update. That's what I'm curious about. How many balance changes are there even going to actually be? In this game, there's a lot of things that are very, very strong, and I don't really know how they're going to deal with it. I know that there's a whole saying of like, oh, if everything's overpowered, then, you know, nothing is overpowered. Not literally everything is overpowered. There are certain things that are clearly underpowered. Don't know about like giving them a buff, or if like bringing the other ones down help, or do both. The M16 is dog shit. No matter what you do with this thing, leveling it, headshots, long shots, it's not good at anything. It doesn't do anything right. Now, I did see that guy running around with the canted laser, which I did not try to use. Nice light blue comes through and the purple and shit. I'm so happy I got this shit done. So tomorrow is the day before the Warzone 2 and Season 1 and everything like that, DMZ. So tomorrow I might do one more spectating video on Warzone 1 before we say goodbye to it like forever. Although, I mean, I already did a video on like my last time spectating, but this is truly the actual last time that I would spectate it. There's no reason for me to go back unless, you know, we went back like a year plus later or something just to see like the state of the game, which I will definitely do. That's not a bad idea at all. Like coming back to Warzone a whole year later after Warzone 2 has been out and you go back to Warzone Caldera, I think that'd be a good video just to see like what the lobbies are even like. Dude, there was some disturbing shit over on Blackout, for example. There's some weird shit on those games. Once they started really truly dying, the lobbies got weird, the game modes got weird, the searches got weird, all the like playlists and shit got crunched together and deleted, smashed together and shit. It's, yeah, it gets ugly. And I haven't even figured out like what the best stuff is for like sniping and all that shit. That's what I plan to do. I'm just gonna beat the shit out of some lobbies a little bit with this SPR. I know that they're trying to make it like glossy, but it actually kind of looks slimy to me now that I'm looking at the camo from this angle. It looks slimy. I don't even think anyone would even notice this camo, straight up. I join a game with the riot shield or some shit like that. But yeah, Eagles play tonight against the Commanders. Everyone's expecting the Eagles to win. Yeah, they should win this game. On paper, it looks like they should win, but you never know. I mean, the Eagles could just not show up. This happens literally with any team. You could just not show up on that day. They could show up, and it is what it is. There's nothing you're going to be able to do. The UFC event, that shit was a banger all the way through. Easily better than the Oliveira Makashev card. The biggest surprise that, obviously, like a lot of people are going to be talking about, to restart my game, fix my graphics and shit. Adesanya ended up getting a TKO. Actually, I don't even know if they ended up calling it a TKO or knockout, but, I mean, he wasn't out cold. He was definitely pretty much out on his feet, though. Again, basically, this fight was literally the exact repeat of their second fight. Adesanya ended up hurting him at the end of one of the rounds, like bad. He wasn't even looking at Adesanya, but then the bell rang. Izzy, as always, handled the loss really, really well. I know most Izzy haters won't want to say or recognize any of that shit, but you know, I really hope that Pereira can actually build his own fan base that isn't connected to Adesanya for his own sake, because that feels like that's all anyone's gonna fucking talk about. The issue also is that I don't actually see him defending the belt more than like maybe twice. Might be able to defend it against Adesanya because that's literally the nightmare matchup for Adesanya, apparently. I don't think Pereira's gonna be able to defend the belt as long as Adesanya did. I just have a really bad feeling that a lot of these wrestlers are just gonna figure him out. And I also highly doubt that he's just gonna magically learn how to grapple and shit with like the higher level wrestlers like Whitaker. Like, how does he deal with somebody like Whitaker? I'm waiting. Because I was saying, as soon as Adesanya lost that shit, I was like, dude, Whitaker is licking his lips. Because the only reason he didn't have that belt was because of Adesanya and the way that that matchup went with Adesanya. And Adesanya's takedown defense is much, much, much better than Alex's. If Alex gets taken down by Robert Whittaker, he's not even gonna get back up. Taken down by Vittori, taken down, I mean, even Brunson could be a problem. What else even happened on that card? There was so much. I think they broke a record for most finishes and shit too on a card. I told everybody, man, I'm like, dude, people gotta watch from the early prelims, because even the early prelims fights were crazy. I was like mostly wrong, I think, on a lot of my picks. Petrosky I thought was gonna win. Blanchfield won. I thought she was gonna win. Dominic Reyes, I said I had a bad feeling. He ended up getting knocked out badly. I did say that Moicano was gonna be a problem for Brad Riddell, but I think I picked Brad. I think I skipped over Dan Hooker. I don't know why, but I was obviously picking Dan Hooker in my, because I want Dan to win. I'm a Dan fan. I wanted Frankie Edgar to win, and he got brutally knocked out again. That's his retirement. That's his going away gift. Getting kneed in the face and flatline. Dustin Poirier against Michael Chandler went the way that we expected it to. Banger from bell to bell. He did hit Dustin with some good shit though. Did hurt him. Chandler did actually use his wrestling this time and managed to hold Dustin down the entire second round. And I could actually even argue a 10-8 potentially. Took him down within the first minute, held him down the entire round, and did damage on the ground. That feels like a 10-8 to me. But doesn't matter because he ended up getting finished in round 3 because Dustin's a dog. This was expected. We knew that Dustin was tougher, and as shit went on, and once they both start getting damaged, yeah, Dustin's gonna always come out on top in a lot of those scenarios. He's done it with Gaethje, he's done it with Eddie, he's done it, like, that's just what he does. Also, yeah, quad feeds and shit on this game are like dumbass easy. Like, this has got to be probably one of the worst kill feeds in Call of Duty history. The kill feed lasts super long, and it only has 4 people in the kill feed. What's the point? I mean, they have updated the kill feed before, so I mean, maybe they could do it again in the future. But I don't see enough people complaining about this for them to change it. I wish they would, though. My argument for having more than 4 kills in the kill feed is to have information. We have teams of 5 and 6 in this game. Having information about only the last 4 kills is kind of a problem, especially if a lot of kills happen quickly. Carla Esparza against Wei Li. I was worried about Wei Li because she's never faced a wrestler, like a pure wrestler before, that would just keep shooting over and over and over again. But Carla really never got the opportunity. Wei Li was just always a little bit too strong, too fast. Obviously, she was winning in the stand-up really, really easily. Then whenever Carla wanted to grapple with her, Wei Li just kind of, she just out-strengthed and out-grappled her, realistically. It's not even just a strength thing. I was thinking that maybe the strength by itself would be enough, kind of like on a Francis Ngannou kind of thing, where he can learn a little bit and do a lot with it because of his strength, right? But she was doing moves, she was doing crazy transitions and bucks, and... But yeah, speaking of people that were bucking, Molly McCann could not get out from underneath of Blanchfield. Blanchfield just held her there in crucifix. Molly was sitting there bucking like 20 times trying to get out in desperation. It was bad. It really wasn't even close. So yeah, Wei Li becomes the new strawweight champion. The queen returns. I don't know what they're gonna do next. I don't know what like Rose Namajunas is doing. I don't know if it should be Rose versus Esparza again and risk that terrible, terrible fight all over again. People are right though. Alex Pereira does make Adesanya fight. And surprisingly, they did grapple. Adesanya did say that due to Alex doing the damage to his leg, so it's not like it's an excuse or some sort of like freak injury or something like that, but apparently he hit Adesanya's perennial nerve, which obviously would affect his footwork. And I noticed that as it went into the later rounds, sure, yeah, he could be tired, yeah, but at that point, he hadn't taken like a ton of damage or taken like a giant shot or something. But obviously, he did take damage to his leg. Pereira did actually do a very, very good job of cutting him off in the cage, though, but for the most part, he didn't. So would the fight have gone differently if, you know, his perennial nerve wasn't hit? Maybe, but I mean, he's literally 0-3 against the guy at this point. He's gonna have to come back and fight somehow. I don't know if he's gonna get a rematch or what, because you can make the argument that it's 3-0. We could argue that it's just 1-0 MMA, and you can't really count that as part of their trilogy because it's not under the same rule set. I didn't think they were gonna grapple at all either, man. Fuck. The thing is, a lot of people see clinching and grappling as like a fear of like striking and shit like that, but the thing is that the clinching that Adesanya was doing with Pereira was actually working really, really well to like sap his energy. The issue with Pereira is that he's not just any other kind of dude that is just like, oh, I'm strong, I hit hard, and then when I gas out, I just got no power left. He carries power even when he's tired. Sure, he gets sloppy, sure, he's not technically better than Adesanya, but that doesn't fucking matter when you win 3 times, one of them questionable, and then knock him out cold in one of them, and then TKO the shit out of him in the second one. In the same way! I still think Adesanya is one of the all-time greats at the weight class. I still think he is still the best fighter within the division. I just think that the matchup just sucks balls for him. It's just kind of like this rock, paper, scissors thing now, where I feel like the middleweight belt is probably going to get passed around a little bit, which is cool. I mean, shit. I mean, this is coming from an Anderson Silva fan. I watched middleweight stay locked up for a long time, and I watched 205 get beat up a little bit in the process. I watched Anderson Silva do it all. But yeah, I look forward to that fight again in the future for sure. That was definitely one of the more entertaining fights from Izzy. I don't think anyone's going to complain about that, whether you're an Izzy hater or not. You know that that was a fun fight. The whole card was a banger. Orion is unlocked. The true grind begins now, but I'm not going to sit here. I'm not committing like 16+ hour days to this shit again, I'm not doing it. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, he says he's not going to do things all the time, and then he goes and does them. But like, what I mean by that is, yes, I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to sit there and make a ton of progress. Like, I might not even finish like a weapon a day or every 2 days. I might just never finish it. Who knows? Maybe I'll love Warzone 2 and I'll just never come back to it. I don't know. Or I'll end up loving DMZ somehow or finding something in there that's really fun to do. This isn't the same thing as like the previous years. Like, no, I'm seriously just going to go and do other shit. Like, probably outside of video games too, because I need to develop some other fucking skill. I don't know, go build something in the backyard or some shit. Develop a different skill set. Anyway, Orion unlocked. There it is. Beautiful. Best grind I've had in a Call of Duty in years. If not the best, most streamlined version of it. Not a single weapon glitch, not a single thing that wasn't counting towards my progress or something like that. It was all perfect. Love that shit. Infinity Ward is coming from somebody that has camo grinded for the past 7 years or so. In all future titles, it needs to be streamlined like this. Please. I had no complaints about it because I had nothing that was actually stopping my progress. All of the previous years before that, there was some sort of issue. You could complete the entire grind or whatever, but then you couldn't get the mastery camo. It just didn't unlock or something like that. Or you had like 4 or 5 different challenges that were broken, or you have to explain to the devs how a certain challenge is supposed to work, how a launcher is broken over on Vanguard, or how collaterals don't work at Raven over on Modern Warfare Remastered. Just like, or just certain things that are just incredibly frustrating to deal with in the process, and the communication with how slow it is sometimes is like incredibly frustrating to deal with. I just felt like I didn't really need to reach out and say anything other than the fact that obviously SPR is broken as fuck. Aim assist is a little strong. I'm just gonna say it. All aim assist on everything, not just sniper rifles, literally on everything. Aim assist is too strong. The rotational aim assist especially is insanely strong. I don't think they're going to tweak it in any way, but that is one thing that I notice on this game in comparison to the others. I don't know if comparatively it is any different from the previous Call of Duties, but for some reason, to me personally, I could get headshots easier on this game. I could get long shots easier on this game. I felt like I could do everything on this game easier than everything else before. The recoil is easier, even though I don't even know exactly how to even properly tune or build my weapons. I just put shit on it that was just kind of working from the previous games. I don't know all the details. Most of us don't. There's a whole bunch of, quote, best classes going around out there, and we don't even actually know which ones are even the best, and we're still slaughtering lobbies with. Footsteps aren't so bad. I still wish Dead Silence was a perk instead, but... And I know a few people are gonna be like, can't wait for this guy to complain about having nothing to do because he decided to beat the game in this period of time. See, the issue is that, like, they think that, like, this is beating the game. It's not beating the game. It's just getting the camos that you want. Then you play the game. This is the content that you're seeing on the channel, and that's what it's based around. That doesn't mean just because I'm done with this, it means that I'm just like done playing. Now I'm just going to play the way that I would usually play without having to worry about doing any kind of challenges. And if I get bored, I get the fuck off. Whereas the camo grind just felt like you were forced to be there because you just want to get through it and finish it. So you can have this beautiful elation. It feels great. It feels so good to unlock a mastery camo year over year, and it feels especially good when you don't have some stupid ass problem in the way. So that's all 51 weapons in the game gold, 51 weapons platinum, 51 weapons polyatomic, and once you're finished with the polyatomic challenge, then you automatically unlock Orion for all of the weapons in the game. That's the only one that unlocks across all of the weapons. Everything else is individual camos that you have to unlock and complete. The only thing left afterwards now is this mastery camo. 100 kills, 200 kills, that's 300 kills, plus the 300 for the polyatomic challenge, 600, and then the 400 for the Orion, 1000, in order to unlock this weapon charm. There's a couple rumors going around out there about what the reward is for actually completing all mastery challenges, but they said in the blog post that there is a reward for doing this. I believe that the grinders that unlock the Orion stuff really early, like over a week and a half ago at this point, we'll see what happens once they get to the end of it, because they're clearly like the front runners anyway. I have heard though that a lot of these are bugged in a way. Like for example, even looking at this screen right here, it says that I have polyatomic camo unlocked, it's checked off, but all of the other ones aren't checked off, but it's still counting towards the progress for it. It could or could not say that it's complete, but it still won't give me the weapon charm. That could be a little bit of a problem, but this is a very small problem in comparison to what everybody else is working on. So, because you're not going to be able to get this weapon charm unless you have Orion. So, it's a very small amount of people at the moment that could even run into this issue. So, I don't know if it's how long it's going to take to get fixed or whatever, but this will be a lot less frustrating because this is literally just kills. It's just kills. That does mean I need to get 1,000 kills with the Joker, Riot Shield, and the knife. Yeah, suddenly I don't want to do it anymore.